Hi YouTube, Gaming Guy here, and this video is going to be two drafts that surprised me with their results, and I'm going to show the draft and then do my analysis after and explain why. Enjoy. Jeez, the win rate for Paladin is so much higher. We're going to discover Paladin spells. Which one? Shaman or Mage? Paladin, Shaman. Shaman and Paladin are the most similar classes. Hey, Llama Mama! You're actually saying something. Hello, we'll be here till practice starts. Well, thank you, Llama. Since you didn't want to be here last night, we'll go with the Goran Zormu. Guess you've had your fill of Roblox finalmente. Let's take a muster. Solid early game. Maybe we get some things to do with the Silverhand recruits too. Rune Dagger's decent too, especially when we can't deal one. That's two different ways to deal one. Sure, kind of weak, but at least we get to dredge. Melty's good. I think I'd rather have a Descendant Fire than Schooling. Brawl. Discover a Paladin spell or a taunt. Probably this, because I have a lot of threes early. I think I'll take the Grill Master just to help our curve out. Definitely a Melty and Malted. Don't know why I said Melty. Still a bit tired. So we have the Totem hero power. We have Mustard. I think this there's a ways to make wave work in this deck. Take the 1-drop over the 3. Let's just save the rest of the 3s for premium cards. Savior is really good. The Dredge effect, picking a minion, buffing the minion is just amazing. Hey, and a very annoying card. Yes, please. Get a random now again. Sure. Increase the duration of your auras in your hand, deck, and battlefield by 1. We have 0 auras. I think I'll just take a second mustard. We already have... We don't have a lot of minions. Let's take the Golem over second. Wish Upon a Star. It's a decent star deck with double mustard. I guess incredible value, because the other cards have not a lot of value. Cast a spell on the minion. I don't think Wish Upon a Star works. I guess we have Blessing of Authority. So it's just basically a 3/4 for 3, which is fine. This card used to be considered pretty OP, but I'll take the Mymordon. super saturated on 3. Diver's by far better than the other 2. Here's our second vaulted. After this minion gains attack, reduce the cost of your highest card by 1. I don't have a lot of playable 1s and 2s. Guess we'll take the light ray. Sure, could use some more 4-drops. Yeesh, a lot of weak cards. Origami, sure. It's gotta be a virtue. Immortalized in stone, trying to curve out. Guess end with a storm. Not too happy with the stack at all. We have a lot of cards that are very reactive. We don't have a lot of value, and we also don't have a lot of pressure. So it's not the best combination. And we have a lot of cards that are not the strongest, so it's a pretty weak draft overall. If you're like me and you hate spoilers and you don't want the result of the run spoiled, go ahead and go to the description, and you can do a timestamp to see the next draft. And there's also going to be links for this draft and the next draft of the run where it is already posted on YouTube. So you can just click that link to go to that previous live stream VOD. And in the VOD, there's a link to where this run's draft will start, and you can give it a watch. Thank you. This run really surprised me, and I already warned you about spoilers. It ended up actually going 12. And it wasn't my strongest draft by far. I still think it was a little bit below average by tier offerings. It's just I hit on the synergies, and I was able to capitalize on what Paladin does well by having a strong early game. And Korgan came in clutch by, like, we played him on turn 3 like 4 times, which is not very likely. But if you play Gorgon, the dragon that gives you the cheese, on turn 3, your odds of winning are probably 90+%. So he was a huge carry. We made cards like Wave of Nostalgia work, and I had pretty good picks to where I'd identify, like, hey, I need more 2-drops, and I took a 2/3, the Epic Dude, over another card that we ended up getting offered that exact same card. So I had 2 different cards and a duplicate instead of 1 card as a triplet, for example, which is also better. We didn't have a lot of swing, mana cheat, or premium late game cards, so for that reasons I don't think it was that high roll of a draft. It just had a lot of synergies. We played well, so if you want to see how we were able to take what I still think is like probably a 4 out of 10 offerings to 12, again, go give the run a watch.
Darkness falls over these lands.
Like, that's bullshit. So much, like, ridiculous we don't win that game. Ridiculous. We're, like, literally in control the entire time. We're up, like, 5 cards. And we just can't close it out because the dude can't, like, every fucking card he has heals. He healed for... I think we dealt over 100 damage to him, and we don't win. It's just retarded. That should not be an arena. And our huddle up in we cast huddle up in like almost every game, and the only time it was good was when we were at 2 HP and it didn't fucking matter. If the huddle up was good that game, we could have won. But no, it's just like completely trash yet again. So stupid. Literally don't win a game where our opponent draws +8 cards and it's a fatigue game. That's just fucking retarded. I'm sorry. If you outdraw your opponent by 8 cards and they make it to fatigue, being your opponent, you should fucking lose. In old school Hearthstone, he would have lost. Just fucking dumb. all the shit that's in the game. That last game is annoying. There's the counter to his tempo. There is no weakness to his entire deck. He can play slow, he can play stupid, he can play fast. It doesn't matter. He's just gonna win because of the design. Frustrating day of Hearthstone. I don't really know where and how the winning line was because I have to deal with needing to play cards, and all my cards are expensive. So I couldn't really use my cards the way I wanted to, and I made the best of it. We were up like 5 fucking cards, you know, but it didn't matter. Because the second we lost the fucking board, he's able to attack us for 10. Because he played the third, like his entire deck was like 6+. That's like stupid. And it all healed, so it worked out. This card's good. I like Contraband Stash. I think I'll take a Corpsicle over second Gnome Muncher. They're both about... I'd rather have 2 different options. Like, Captain's pretty good. Like, I don't really want to play like a 20-minute game that I have no way of actually winning. That I just have to wait because my opponent is unkillable. Like, that's not fun. That's essentially what that last game was. Like, fuck the design of that being an arena. This is what I'm saying. We made like 8 different boards to kill him and yet could not kill him because he kept healing for infinite. Discover a card from your desk. We want soul searching. We don't have Death Knight Hero Power. We do have to play Gain though. Yeah, let's try it out. This card's so hard to use with the hand space limitations. Because by the time you want to use this card, it's like turn 8, your hand's like full. Most of the time. Or do we... I'll just take the draw. Draw's probably better. Horizon's Edge. Fool's Knight. We have 0 Death Rattle cards, right? Yep. I mean, maybe we still have 12 cards to find some. Hopefully we can find some. So this would be all our rogue cards, but I'd rather have the tempo, the Horizon's Edge. I'm gonna take the Swarm Guard. I'm gonna take second Plague over this. I'm not very high on this card. Makes it harder for you to find your actual synergy in other cards. If it high rolls, it's amazing. If it low rolls, you kind of just run out of... Like, it'll put a bunch of cards that are cheap, so you don't use all your mana. You can, and if you low roll the interaction of those cards, you can have no cards and no mana. And like this could be a card that's the 1 cost too. Travel security is good. That's something that's pretty good with the whatchamacallit, this thing. Both of these are. I like this chef more. We only have 1 frost spell. Double Agent's great. Contraband, so our rogue cards. Does it... Can you get an infinite loop if one of the 5 cards you played was Contraband Staff? And then it re-triggers? Assuming no. But that's kind of broken. That theoretically should work, right? Take another Gnome Muncher. captain. Yes, Sad Dragon. How the hell can we get good cards? I mean, our last draft Hero Hinge was very good cards, but our games have just been very frustrating. We had our opponent last game heal for like over 100 HP and kill us in Fatigue, and he was able to beat us in Fatigue even though he got to Fatigue 8 cards before we did. Just, and like, I've had pretty frustrating games of Hurt today. We had a very good draft that could have went 12, and I did fuck up one of the losses, and it ended up only going 7. But one of the games was winnable, the other 2 weren't. Yeah, we have mostly all old cards, so we'll see how this goes. Again, if you don't want the results of this run spoiled, you can just go to the link in the description and watch it on the VOD, and I'll have again the VOD timestamped to the start of the run, so you can watch the pretty interesting run without knowing the result. Hi YouTube, you got to see a little bit of Salty Guy there. We had probably my most frustrating loss in the last 3 or 4 streams, and I highlighted extensively for you. Nobody wants to play a 20-minute and unwinnable game of Hearthstone. So this run in particular, I think highlights why Rogue was the best, just classic, how to draft, tempo, and tempo has always been king. There's a little bit of mana cheat, but we just have a strong curve overall, and we're able to do high tempo things, and that just kind of carries. So that's why this run ends up going 8-3, and it's just a good example of how to draft tempo, and if you want to see how to play tempo, give the run a watch with the links in the description that I described earlier. Hi guys, thanks for making it this far into the video. Comment other ideas that you might have for videos that you would like to see in the future. This video is created into response to one of those comments. And our next video is going to be in 2 days from now because there's a new arena meta. So I want to give my input after I've done my next stream, and I've already done 1 stream. So I have a good handle on what the meta feels like, so I can tell you the top classes to play and the top cards to draft in those classes. I think I'm going to just try to do the top 4 because the meta kind of feels like similar to the last one that we just left, where like 4 classes really feel playable, and then the other classes are kind of unplayable, so you just kind of want to avoid them. So I think the first video idea I'm going to do is like, hey, pick these classes with these cards as much as you can, and your win rate will improve. And if you have other ideas, let me know down below. As always, consider liking the video, subscribing, turning on notifications, watching my live streams, watching me on Twitch if you prefer that website, and all of those things help me grow, and we're slowly growing, and I appreciate all the love and support. I'll see you guys in the next one. Mahalo.